fancy my chances of publishing this because this is something that not many people have heard of. Predictive programming. Has anyone heard about predictive programming before? One person. Oh my God, that is a record. I've done it. This is the third time I've done this talk now. This is the first time anybody has said they've heard of it, so thank you. Predictive programming is appearances of events or names or themes in mass media that seem to align with future events, whether those future events are actual things that happen or just predictions about things that might happen or that seem likely to happen. And there are many examples of this. I have a wonderful YouTube link here that will have to go unused because we don't have Wi-Fi here. But I'll describe to you what happens. It's a scene from the short-lived X-Files spin-off, The Lone Gunman. Did anybody watch this? Okay, a few X-Files superfans in the audience. Basically, the X-Files had these three sort of peripheral characters who show up every few episodes, who were these sort of stereotypical kooky crackpot conspiracy theorists who ran this like National Enquirer, Weekly World News type sort of conspiracy rag, I guess. And they would just publish these stories, and eventually they bump into Mulder and Scully every now and then and help them out. And they got a spin-off series. It lasted for a season. It wasn't very good. But the first episode, the pilot, had an interesting sort of plot device. What happened was that they were on the trail of this conspiracy to start a war in the Middle East. And then the way the conspiracy decided to do this was by hijacking some passenger jets and crashing them into the World Trade Center. And this was aired in 2000. So this made quite a splash in 2001 when 9/11 happened. The few people, including myself, who saw The Lone Gunman thought back and went, oh, that's weird. And as a bonus, they even did it remotely. Like the planes were hijacked by this remote software, and there's this very tense scene where they're hacking, and they're, hack faster. I'm hacking as fast as I can. Yeah, and then bleep bloop, and text comes out, and they save it at the last minute, pull up, and they don't hit the towers, and then the conspiracy goes, oh, curses the Lone Gunman. It's not the best show, but people look back on this now and they say, why is it that this happened? Did they know? Like, what are the chances that somebody would guess something like that? Crashing planes through the World Trade Center isn't something you do every day. And this is just one example. There are lots more. The Simpsons is famous for this. So here's the episode where they go to New York, where Homer's car gets impounded, and it's at the foot of the World Trade Center. And here's sort of a guidebook for New York, and you can tour it for $9. And then the two World Trade Center towers next to it spells 9/11. Yeah, right? Spooky. So, and then here's the Dark Knight, the scene where they're looking over the map, they're plotting how to take the city back from the thugs who have taken it over. And here's Sandy Hook. The phrase Sandy Hook is spelled out on this map. Commissioner Gordon is pointing to something, and you can see this in the corner of the shot. And this took place before the Sandy Hook school shooting. It's strange. What's that doing there? And of course, the Hunger Games is a massive thing for this. I don't know about the writing process behind the Hunger Games, but it is this sort of dystopian series about a future with this oppressive government that divides the people into zones, and it has these gladiatorial games, and it's all very oppressive and totalitarian, and there's this sort of media landscape, and it's like a, I don't know why I'm describing the Hunger Games to you, probably a lot of you have seen it, but for those of you who haven't, imagine The Running Man with a higher budget and more archery. And a lot of people look at this and say, well, obviously this is predictive programming, because people who are into sort of Agenda 21, New World Order type conspiracy theories, they look at this and they see a lot of the same themes happening. They say, well, look, this is confirmation that they're planning to do this stuff, because they're planting these ideas in the media. And these ideas are out there, and they're going to affect people psychologically. They're going to do these things to people. It's going to affect how they think about the future. And this is one of those prospective instances of predictive programming. So this is predictive programming, the idea that things that are going to happen in the future are predicted in media beforehand, and this is a way of sort of mind control. It's a conspiracy to psychologically program the population to prepare them for coming events, that people will be in some way prepared by watching the Hunger Games or seeing 9/11 in The Simpsons or whatever. And so this is a psychological claim that this is going to program the world's population. That it's going to have some sort of psychological effect, having these familiar things in media. It's going to somehow do something. It's honestly a little